Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, words my brethren all around the world watching this video. Hope you're having a great day today as you're tuning in. Do yourself a damn favor and hit the subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. Now, it's been what? I'm going to say about a week and some change that I've been on here. It's been interesting. You know, my birthday was a couple days ago, so I've been spending a lot of time with family and things like that. But we on the boxing grind. Got quite a lot to talk about. Quite a lot I want to really sound off on. And we'll start with the main man himself, Gervonta "Tank" Davis, coming off of an impressive win against Hugo Ruiz. I want to just talk about that fight, even though there's not a whole lot to talk about because the dude knocked him out one round. But the Hugo Ruiz fight was interesting because we knew coming in, Hugo Ruiz was a late replacement. We knew that Hugo Ruiz had just fought on the Manny Pacquiao undercard. We knew that Hugo Ruiz had never fought as high as 130, so he was taking a massive risk here. And for those of you who have actually watched Hugo Ruiz fight more than once, you know that Hugo Ruiz, even though he had the range and he seemed like the longer fighter on Tank, he wasn't someone that really knew how to use that range. He doesn't know how to use that range. So it was one of those fights where you would be led to believe going in that Tank Davis's speed, his athleticism, his boxing skills would be a lot for Hugo Ruiz to adapt to, along with the weight itself. And it just, if Ruiz could maybe get through the first couple rounds without taking a punishment, then he'd have a chance. But that's actually not what happened. Tank was on his ass from the word go. And, he was picking his shots real nicely, putting a lot of mental pressure, intelligent pressure on Hugo Ruiz. And we saw how it ended. The guy broke Hugo Ruiz's nose, and it was another first-round knockout. Another sensational performance from Gervonta "Tank" Davis. So, look, let me just preface everything I'm about to say by saying this first, because a lot of times y'all like to mince my words in the comments, and we're not going to have none of that more of this. We're not going to have no more of that this year on True School Sports. Y'all like to mess my words up in the comments and twist things on me. Look, Gervonta Davis is a world-class talent. He is a fantastic fighter with a lot of positive attributes going for him. He has the skills, he has that it factor to compete with anybody around his weight, okay? But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say two things, okay? The first thing I want to say is this, all right? Gervonta Davis is in danger of being a victim, not because of himself, but being a victim because of the people around him. He is in danger of being a victim of this messed up world of instant gratification. Okay, we live in the social media era. We want things now. We nobody wants to go through the process to become great. And he's in danger of seriously, because he's being fed, oh, you're gonna be a pay-per-view star, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that. Well, really, there's not a whole lot of pay-per-view stars, and he's not fighting nobody. So Mayweather Promotions has got to put him in meaningful fights. And Hugo Ruiz wasn't a meaningful fight. To be fair, the Morris fight was a name, but wasn't a meaningful fight? Not really. Quay wasn't a meaningful fight. The best one on his resume as it stands right now is Jose Pedraza. And no disrespect to Jose Pedraza. I mean, you all heard me go off about Pedraza and what I think of him as a fighter. All my videos, I said Lomachenko's been ducking Manny Pacquiao. He's a decent fighter, but he's not the creme de la creme of boxing. So we want to see Tank step it up. We want to see him in the fights with the likes of, obviously Lomachenko, obviously the likes of Tevin Farmer. Even a guy like, it's not likely to happen, but even a guy like Teofimo Lopez is someone that I like to see Tank in the ring with. But Tevin Farmer seems like something that it can happen. But Leonard Ellerbe, Mayweather Promotions, they're not interested in making that fight happen. They don't want to go to the zone. Okay, so right now, as it stands, Gervonta Davis is firmly in the witness protection program for boxing. He's a protected fighter. Now, look, that doesn't mean he sucks. That doesn't mean he's trash, but he is protected. He's been fighting safe opponent after safe opponent after safe opponent after safe opponent. I know it's boxing, anything can happen, but when I say safe opponent, I mean he's not taking fights where going in you're saying, damn, well, that's a real 50-50 fighter, or a 40-60 fighter, 70-30. He's taking fights where he's picking these guys up from small weight classes who've never fought at 130, and he's beating them. And we know Tank Davis is not the most disciplined fighter in the world. He just had I saw a clip on Fight Hub where he's talking about how before the Francisco Fonseca fight on the Mayweather-McGregor undercard, this dude used to go to the Sonic Drive-In and he was eating French fries and hot dogs and chips. And we know that he lost his title on the scale. He was tubby coming onto the scales, and he missed this weight for the Ruiz fight. He was over by 0.2, had to lose the weight and weigh in a second time. So, he's not the most disciplined fighter in the world. And I think, although he's a talented fighter, I think he has the attributes to be a world beater, a world class, a top dog in the division. I think what Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe, what they're creating is a culture of entitlement, a culture where they're massaging his earlobes, a culture where you're not going to push him to be his best. And when that's the proof is in the pudding. Yeah, he's looking good against these guys from other weight classes that don't fight at 130, but he's missing weight. He's not talking about fighting the best. He's not talking about being a great fighter. He's talking about being a pay-per-view star and all this stuff. And I just think like they got him focused on the wrong things. And now we're hearing rumors of him fighting tension. Now it's like how the guy Mayweather just fought. So I mean, come on, man. It's a crock of shit. The guy is in the witness protection program for boxing. I personally rate Gervonta as a fighter. I think he's a fantastic fighter. I think he's one of the most entertaining fighters to watch in boxing, particularly from the American side of boxing. But we want to see him tested. And I know he's 23, and they're saying, oh, well, Lomachenko has to rush because he has to get all these fights, and Tank can take his time. Well, if you want him to take his time, tell him to vacate the fucking title. Because when you're a world champion, everyone is good for that. Everyone in the weight class is looking at that title. They're looking at whoever has that title. Right now, it's you, Tank. Mayweather Promotions. Your guy has that title. So if you want him to take his time, if you want him to, mature and develop, that's all cool and dandy. But vacate the title and let the guys who want to be great, whose promoters and handlers will allow them to be great, to fight. Okay, let them fight. Because right now, I mean, I have no problems with because they're being very transparent. They don't want to fight Lomachenko. They don't think it's the right time for that fight to happen. And everybody, credit to them. Everybody from his trainer to Mayweather to Tank himself, they all seem to be on one accord. They don't got to rush, we're taking our time, pay-per-view star, this, that, and the third. But there comes a point where fans will get sick of your shit, and we want to see you fight the best. And I think it's, to me, as a boxing fan, as a fight fan, and someone who covers this sport, I think it's very alarming when you see Tank Davis, a guy that we can look at him from a mile away, and we can see that he has all the ability in the world. We can see that this guy has that it factor. This guy has attributes that will give any fighter around his weight some serious problems. And when we see this guy coddled, spoon-fed, put firmly in boxing's witness protection program from fighting the top fighters, it's just very alarming. And I think it's creating a really bad culture, which may not bite him in the ass now, but it will for sure later. And, just Tank Davis fighting Lomachenko, I mean, that's a fight that I think that, to me, Teofimo, I want to see Lomachenko fight somebody. So if it's not Teofimo, then I want it to be Tank. Or if Tank wants to fight someone, fight Tevin Farmer. To be quite honest with you, I don't know why they won't fight Tevin Farmer. Like, straight up, like the more I've watched Tevin Farmer fight, and no disrespect to him, he's a good fighter. Like he's got a world title. He's done great for his career. He came, from the beginning of his career where he wasn't doing so good, had 4 losses, and built himself up to a world champion in the division. So we're not going to take that away from Tevin Farmer. He's a fantastic fighter, but I don't know why they're ducking that fight. In my opinion, I think Tank Davis will wipe the floor at Tevin Farmer. Straight up, he will stop Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer don't got that punching power. He don't got the straight up. I don't even think he has the boxing skills to outbox Tank. Straight up, because the thing is, people look at Tank and they see his knockouts, they see his power, but he's got good boxing fundamentals. He's got very high defense. And it's funny because, and that's what makes the quote so funny. He's saying, oh, well, he doesn't need to have 300 amateur fights like Lomachenko. Well, shit, he had 220 amateur fights, okay? He had a long amateur career. So, I don't see what the big deal is about letting him fight Tevin Farmer, because I don't think it's I don't think that's a competitive fight. I think Tank Davis is stopping Tevin Farmer on as long as he comes in focus and he's not overlooking him and he's training and he's on weight, he's getting that boy out of there straight up. So I'd like to see that fight because it's a big fight in the division. It's a unification fight, but they don't want him to go on zone. And then you got Floyd Mayweather talking about, oh well, Lomachenko fought the champion and went the distance with him, but Tank stopped him. He's fighting his leftovers. And then that makes me that made me think to. I was like, what a hypocrite Mayweather's being, because in your career, you fought Miguel Cotto, won 12 rounds with him, and Miguel Cotto would give you a pretty good fight. And you fought Manny Pacquiao's leftovers. Pacquiao stopped Cotto. Pacquiao made Cotto's wife run up the arena. Okay? Or how about when you fought Marquez and you went the distance with him? Yeah, you won, but you went the distance with him. And Pacquiao beat Marquez. You fought his leftovers. So you fought Manny Pacquiao's leftovers quite a few times. The same way Tank Davis is fighting, or Lomachenko fought Tank Davis leftover and Pedraza. So look, I didn't praise Lomachenko for fighting Pedraza. I thought it was fucking shambolic how he ducked Manny Pacquiao. Pedraza had a belt, but come on, did he really have a chance to win? No, he was just a guy that ran into a title, and the title justified making the fight. But would anybody have cared for that fight if he didn't have a title? I mean, people barely cared about the fight when Pedraza had the title. So I didn't get. I wasn't over the moon about that. I think Lomachenko. I'm getting sick of his shit too. He needs to step it up and fight Teofimo Lopez this year, or either Tank Davis in Mailer Promotions, Leonard Ellaby with his fat ass nostrils breathing up 70% of the Earth's air. He needs to let Gervonta Tank Davis fight Lomachenko, because I don't think it's Gervonta Davis. I will, with the utmost respect, say I don't think it's Gervonta Davis. I think Gervonta Davis will fight anybody. I think he's got dog in him. I think he's a fantastic fighter. You know, he's in the streets of Baltimore. Why the fuck would he be afraid of anybody in boxing? So I like Tank. I think he can go really far on the sport, and I think Mayweather Promotions, they'll look after him and he'll get to that level. But there will come a time. There will come a time where he will have to step it up, and when it comes time to step it up, I'm not so sure he'll have had the proper experience to deal with that top level of boxing. Has all the ability in the world. But when he gets punched in the mouth by someone who's just as good as he is, if not better, we'll see just how good Gervonta Tank Davis is. So I look forward to seeing how his career develops. But as it stands right now, through no fault of his own, he is in boxing's witness protection program from Mayweather Promotions. Leonard Ellaby breathing up 70% of the Earth's air. Sean Porter's he's breathing the other like 10%. Devin Haney's breathing up like the other 5%. So there's only so much air to go around. You got Leonard Ellaby breathing up 70%. You got Sean Porter breathing up 10%, and then you got Devin Haney breathing up like a good 5%. So only 15% of the air is available, and they're all breathing it up. So hopefully Gervonta Davis fights someone soon, and we get to see him how good he is, because I think he really is a special talent. And if they don't want him to fight Lomachenko or be asked these stupid questions, then vacate the belt and he can go be the fucking NABF champ, because you don't deserve to hold the world title if you want to fight the best. So we're going to hold it at that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys.